Hi, my name is Winslet, and welcome to my Let's Play as the Seekers. In this game, I think we will try to roleplay the Gospel of the Masses and the Death Cult civics, as well as the Void Dweller or Voidborn origin, because I've always enjoyed roleplay, and I think trying to convert the galaxy to spiritualists would be a fun little side objective for this playthrough. And also it allows me to kind of show off a interaction that I covered in my tips video, which I posted a few days ago. I got early access. I got an early access key to Stellaris Necroids, which is where the Death Cult Civic is coming from. And in the stream that featured that, DJ was saying Gospel of the Masses plus Death Cult is really strong. I think these guys plus Void Dwellers having the habitats, which gives you a lot of buildings, building slots which you can put these Death Cult buildings on, is really powerful, and their whole ability to give you more spiritualist attraction works really nicely with how these guys get more trade value for the spiritualist pops. But yeah, let's look at the empires I'm bringing along. Just these guys. I'm going to try and have some of the default ones in here. I designed a lot of these guys recently, so we should see some of the newer content in this galaxy. Gonna be playing on a huge galaxy, 4-armed spy roble, 15 empires. Yeah, you know, if you want to look at all the details, here they are. One last thing I'll say before starting this up is that I will be trying to edit out the boring parts, because I do have the tendency to spend a lot of time paused in game thinking about things. So in order to speed that up, we'll probably just jump around every 10 years and then show off the highlights, cover what's happened in between and what I'm thinking and what I'm planning. So yeah, without further ado, here we go. Okay, we're back now. I did want to just take a second to look around and see what my options were, because like I said, I wanted to cut out the boring parts where I'm taking a lot of decisions. So yeah, I've got this. All is what I got at the beginning. I've got a capital that does research, that's, you know, got 3 buildings, this factory thing which only has 2 buildings, and then this mining one which has 3 buildings. It's slow and stability, so I'm going to need to get it some amenities soon. This one I think makes sense to put the special building on, the one that gives me more spiritualist ethics attraction, so I can make that faction as big as possible and get as much trade value just from those pops as early as possible. And I think I'll try and put them on the first slots that I get available here and there. I'll have to think about it more once I expand into the surrounding areas. This person is going to help me grab down to this node, and then we're going to need to grab that one, but we won't do that with this scientist. We'll build a second scientist and send them up there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I really wanted to highlight here in the intro. We may as well just jump a little bit ahead, because typically at this point, what do you do? Alright, we got to choose our stuff. This maybe, that maybe, and what else do we want to grab? Yeah, I forgot to check those, so once we're done recording here, I'll go back and double check those things make the most sense. And we're making quite a bit of energy. We won't build those stations just quite yet. It doesn't make sense in my opinion. We're gonna need this influence and the person to go in the other direction. Ooh, look at that. That's we're selling some stuff for, isn't it? Let me get this person going early so we can get vision on the areas around us. And I think I'm going to see if I can buy. No, we won't be able to buy enough minerals to get that going too soon, but in a handful of turns we'll do that just to get that building going. So yeah, see you soon. Okay, so it's been 10 years. We have made contact with a Xeno down here, and we were actually able to box them out of this cluster up here. I'm feeling pretty good about that maneuver. You know, we said at the beginning that I wanted to get down to here. I was able to do that pretty quickly, and then I was focusing more up here, and I saw, oh, there's people up here. I need to build this off. Got there before they did. It's not that far away from my capital, but it's definitely closer to theirs, so feeling good. We got more scientists. We got this guy, our original dude, clearing out this space, trying to get to this node because it looks like there's a hyperlane that goes off to the left, and if we can get that, we have a giant cluster space that belongs to us. We have this person over here investigating that anomaly and coming back just because they're close by and they might as well. I think we got another scientist from a anomaly or an event. I forget exactly which way you get this dude, but they're a free scientist, so we've got them researching all the anomalies that this person was discovering. It's going pretty well at the beginning. I also got the Grunar. Like this is perfect for the Voidborn people because they can use the relic to turn the worlds that have no habitability into 100% habitability for everybody, including those people that are, you know, less likely. Oh, what do I do with this construction ship? I can bring them over here for now. We got enough income. We can afford to grab that node. The one problem is with spending all of our influence here is that we can't sacrifice pops. I don't know if we have enough pops that sacrificing them, just like 1 or 2, makes any sense. Every pop counts, contributes quite a bit. Feeling pretty good about this neck of the woods. I haven't seen anyone up here on the top right or top left, which means we have a bit of time to explore the area around us before that becomes a real problem. So yeah, I think that's everything I had to say. We may grab a colony with 0% habitability soon. It'll push some pops onto these planets actually, which isn't terrible actually, but we're gonna run out of slots sooner or later. These guys are looking lower than the capital. I think the capital has a little bit more stuff to work with. Yeah, 6 instead of 4 things. It might make sense to grab the void thingy that gives you more pop, little, what are they called? More districts to work with. But I prefer spending them on other things, you know. Like one vision, give me more governing ethics attraction. So yeah, we'll check in 10 years, see how the empire looks. We've reached a really important part of the game here. Now we need to decide which direction we want to expand in. I've unlocked a lot of vision in this part of the galaxy that I didn't have before, and on this part of the galaxy that I didn't have before. I don't think it makes sense to expand over here. It does have some nice systems that I've seen, but this is the last planet that I think I can reasonably grab over here without upsetting this person. Can't think of the word right now. Aggravating, I think that was what I was trying to say. We've seen a Gaia world over here, one of my favorite Gaia worlds. It'll give us consumer goods, which will allow us to get more research. So I wanted to get to that as soon as possible, but I think I'm gonna have to abandon that effort for now because I haven't seen anybody else up here, and if I can get to this choke point before this AI gets up here, then I'll be able to keep them out of this cluster right here. I think I'll be able to get up to there as well before another empire. So I think I have to, like, basically whenever I get enough influence, I need to send them up here and around to this cluster to try and grab this civilization. That's a pretty big planet, I think, too. size 24. So yeah, we want that planet and those pops. There's a lot of free pops that I can get there if I grab them. If I invade them, then I can use their people to settle planets. Right now, I believe we only have one type of species in the Empire. Yeah, my little void dweller people. I know there's something else I wanted to talk about here. Factions. What do we have? We have our spiritualists. Yay, they like a lot of our decisions, not everything. They don't like that we're allowing robots, but we kind of have to keep this faction from being crazy. If we disallow robots, then our science faction is going to be very angry. Unfortunately, we have quite a draw to the materialist faction because we have research agreements with materialists, and we have pops that are good at science. So that was a bit of an oversight on my part, but I think it's probably worth having the extra research that these guys can generate. Because, well, we need more engineering stuff to grab our extra habitat level. Right now, this place has filled out all of its districts and is getting close to having all the jobs it can. Same with this one, and I kind of need to upgrade them soon. I also kind of need to increase my alloy income. I've started to throw down a couple things here. Got one here, and yeah, we were also able to get a sacrificial temple on all of our planets, or rather our habitats. We're settling rural, which is over here, the 0 habitability planet, but because of the Grunar, we're going to be able to turn it into a Gaia world pretty soon. We've only gotten one of these things. We've got locations around here that we can start to check for things, for precursors. There's another archaeology thing that we've been able to locate over here. I think in the last session, or in the last session, the last little bit that I had, I didn't show off our research and what we've been able to get. We've been able to get some decent things for grabbing more research. For being like a spiritualist faction, we're pretty good at research. But we also have some other things that help us out. We have, these are all starting techs. Extra pop growth. We're going to need more pops. We have 3 things that have pop growth, so that works in our favor quite a bit. Extra colony development is, I think, going to make sense for us grabbing all these planets, especially that Gaia world up there. That's survey speed. The extra survey speed was quite lucky to grab early. We're getting extra minerals, stuff from our star bases, which is kind of a big deal in the early game. If you can boost that a little bit, it'll help you out a lot more. Just kind of getting your income snowballing a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that's everything I wanted to highlight here. I hope that's everything. That makes sense. We got 74 stability, 61, 70. They're pretty high in stability. We could afford to maybe lose a little bit of housing for jobs. But that would require minerals that I may want to spend on other things. I may need to sell them for energy, or sell them for energy to buy consumer goods. What's our market looking like? That's right, yes, we're buying some food because we don't have enough places to make them. I could build some star bases to get that, but that has its own problems like upkeep and whatnot. So yeah, let's jump ahead and see where we are in a little bit. Alright, we did it. We were able to pin in this little empire too. We grabbed this location here and this location here, and the automated dreadnought in this location means that they aren't able to get past Advitar. Of course, I wanted Advitar. It's a pretty nice system, but this is gonna work out okay. We were also able to grab Wenquart and scout out the area up here. It looks like there is at least one planet that I can grab with one of my species. Somebody can colonize it. It might be these people, this little civilization over here, which we just recently conquered and has given us some new pops. We also have Pokemon from down here. The Pokemon Corporation gave us a migration treaty. We colonized a planet, and then immediately, I think, As soon as we had the colony ship on its way, I canceled the migration treaty, and that meant I didn't have to spend influence on it. I mean, we kind of had to save as much influence as possible to get out here in time to pin this empire in. We're not making a whole lot from our defensive pacts, our close borders, our commercial pact, defensive pacts, and close borders are causing issues for our faction gain, or influence gain. And I tried to appease, I think, this faction here by changing some of my policies. If we go to policies, we can see, yes, refugees are recently allowed. It's a good thing to have on anyways, because it's just free pops, and we like free pops. I think 100% habitability, things like these habitats allow you to get refugees pretty easily, pretty well if they are being purged somewhere. Turn off purging, because like, why would we don't need that. So yeah, I think that allowed us just to get a little bit more influence a little bit quicker. And it looks like these guys have expanded up to here, right? Up to this planet, our border. They seem to not like us very much, but if we compare them to our ally, the Pogovan, they're not much better. They're a little bit ahead, and I think Pogovan will do better in the long run, because they're supposed to be tall, and they're already got pretty good research. We're sharing, I think, research with them, right? No, we're not actually. We should probably consider doing that. It's going to cost us influence. We may not want to do that though. We need to start considering habitats. They're only 1,500 alloys, and we're making a good amount of alloys. So this influence is the real issue. I think there's some planets out here that I can still get a lot of value out of. I know a lot of people will be like, no, at this point you gotta go tall, go crazy with those things, but put them everywhere, and that probably would work out pretty well for me. But I'm gonna try grabbing a lot of space, so I don't have to convert like a bunch of people later, go to war with a bunch of strong nations. That's kind of the thinking. If I keep them from having space, then they're not going to be nearly as scary and easier to convert. Forget who around us is actually spiritualist. Well, you're not yet. You're definitely going to need conversion. I'll convince them. They'll come around. I may not need to actually fight these guys in the long run. But man, it does not seem like we have a lot of spiritualist friends, do we? Market. We're getting food still, buying some consumer goods. Don't have a lot of building slots for that. That's why having some more planets would be helpful. We're actually selling a bit of our minerals and alloys because we have so much, and we need it for income. If we run out of energy, we run out of consumer goods, we run out of everything. It's a spiral. So got to keep that in mind. I think we don't need this, right? Yeah. You're gonna cost upkeep, so get rid of those. They did their job. Nope, just delete them all. And yeah, have we made progress on the Grunar? I think we made it a little bit. Yes, got some progress to go. Some anomalies to clear out. I think we'll be all right. Have we looked at research? Not recently. Habitability will help us settle more planets. At least when we do, it won't be as big of an issue. Like this one will be 30%. That's better than 0%, I think. And we got hangars that allows us to get some trade from some things, which we might put around here soon. But it's just like a good tech to have in general, and it's very, very strong compared to what the AI makes, or when you use it against the AI. They typically have a lot of smaller ships, which those things will perform well against, and also look scary because it has high fleet power, or whatever you call it when it's the starbase. Getting some good hyperlanes, some weapons tech, so if we need to fight, we can fight. But yeah, let's jump ahead and see where we are in a bit. So I got an exciting update for you this time. We have completed the Grunar event chain, the precursor one, where it gives you a system. We got the one down here. It's really close to our capital. We were able to claim it, and we actually had enough stuff to unlock the, I think it's the project here. So we're gonna have that pretty soon. I think that's a nice thing to have. And we can also, you know, come in here, turn some things into Gaia worlds. I'm thinking either rule or keyed. But this one as a bureaucratic center, I think these jobs always give you the same amount of little capacity, terraforming cost. Yeah. Clegg. There's some option there, huh? Oh, we can uplift now, which is good because we need influence for grabbing more territory. Excuse me. Did notice that, you know, the Kettlings are not, what are they called? Not Kettlings. Maybe Kettlings. The little rattling things that spawn on Tomb Worlds are over here, so I want to grab this space. We're gonna need influence to grab this space, and I did notice that it doesn't look like there's anybody in this giant cluster over here, so if I can grab along this little route, I can keep this empire from at least up here, maybe over here. So as much as I want to spend influence on habitats, on turning these crummy worlds into Gaia worlds, that's just gonna have to wait for later. My influence gain is not that great right now, so I'm gonna have to look at that, see what I can play around with, what I can make differently. It's been a long day, so this is probably the last little bit that I'll do in this episode. We'll wrap it up after I'm done looking at everything, looking at all the summaries, all the updates. Our factions are pretty happy overall. We have this one down here who's not very happy. They're xenophobes, so we don't really care what they think, right? We have the xenophiles over here, which are decently happy. We need to uplift some people, maybe change around this thingy here. I mean, we have the primitive world, so it doesn't seem like something that I need to worry about. Land grab objections, policies. I'm glad I'm seeing that now, because that's important. We're going to need that influence. What is that? Factions. Oh, we already invaded them, so they're upset about that. I've changed all the stuff I need to here. Yeah, they're okay. They're happy because we got a lot of tech. Our cities our thingies are doing pretty well. They're filling up, so we're going to need to upgrade them soon. We don't have the tech for that yet, but we're working on it. It's going to take us a long time to get there, but I think it'll be worth it having the extra districts here. Our traditions are allowing us to have a little bit more districts, getting a little bit more out of these habitats. That's why we haven't got unemployed pops there or had to resettle them elsewhere. We're getting good tech rate, and we've completed a lot of stuff for, I think, 50 years into the game. I know a lot of people say, why are you focusing on Unity? Well, I'm spiritualists. Spiritualists like Unity. I'm trying to roleplay a little bit here. We're spreading our religion across the stars, all across the stars, to all the empty planets, and soon we'll go to the full complete ones. But it's going to take some time. I'm a little concerned about this wormhole over here. I mean, it's a nice thing to have inside of your own space, but there could be an empire that jumps in here and starts grabbing a bunch of space, and exploring the areas around here has helped out with just finding those details. This dude needs a job. He's gonna go here and figure out what's in the area, just in case we need to start scrambling in any particular direction. But yeah, our economy's looking good. We're still relying on the market quite a bit. You could potentially stop selling these and make energy elsewhere, but I have more than enough alloy income. After a certain point, it doesn't do you that much good to just hold on to them. I'm not building habitats, not building ships, so I think selling them for energy is just fine at this point in the game. If you disagree with how I've been playing here, please let me know in the comments below. That's fine. I will attempt to adjust in the future based on what people say. I think this video is coming out later today, and then I'll try recording the rest tomorrow morning, so should have time to make comments. Still gotta figure out the details on this stuff. See you around. Have a good one.